All right, guys. Just when I thought that I could go lay down with my allergies while we were doing our last stream for Arrowverse Wednesday, they decided to drop that they cast a new witch for season 4 of the Charm Ones, ruining my nap and potentially my life. No, I'm just joking. All right, so where to begin? So our new actress is named Lucy Barrett. Now, if you have never heard of her, that's okay, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people haven't unless you live in Australia, because they went from casting Madeline Mantock, a half white, half Caribbean actress from England, UK, to Lucy Barrett, a half black, half Irish Australian actress. So yeah, we're from the UK to down under now. Something interesting, and we'll go into some of the comments that the showrunners have already made so far about season 4, because they're not revealing her name. They're not revealing a lot about her, but they did give us a little nugget of information. But as I twist my hair, let's talk. So what I'm going to say is probably going to be problematic as hell for some people. But I will say it as a mixed person, a person of Black, Native, and white heritage. If they cast Lucy Barrett as a Afro-Latina, I'm going to be kind of pissed off. Because they've already done this with Madeline Mantock. They've done this with Sarah Joffrey. The only true Latin representation they have is actually Melanie. And I don't know how I feel about that, guys. So I'm just putting that out there, that if she's going to be portraying a half black, half Latina character, and she is half white and half black, again, something is wrong with the casting wheel at CW. This Dare to Defy representation matters shit is not true. I'm just throwing that out there, guys, because you know I'm real on this channel. So I have to say this because, hello, I'm literally the same flavor. So, all right. So let's talk about this. Season 4. So we do know that, first off, our original showrunners, well, not original, but season 2, season 3 showrunners, Liz Kruger and Craig Shapiro, are going away. They're going to be executive producers, but they're not going to be showrunning this show. So they're going to do whatever they're going to do over at CBS because they got a deal and they're happy and blah, 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 blah. They have pooped on the show and moved on. That's basically what has happened. And so we have new showrunners. We have Jeffrey Lieber, Joey Falco, and Nika Reina. So from what I can tell, Jeffrey and Joey are white, and I'm pretty sure Nikki Reina is Hispanic. But if you know better than me, please correct me down below. All right. So let's just jump into it. Lieber basically said they're bringing a totally new character who can do anything. They can do anything with. And it's just exciting. We hope to make a season where it's buckle up and strap in because anything's possible. Falco added, I've been on this show since day one, and I've had 3 years now to see different showrunners put different spins on the show, and this is one of the writers. Raina and I have had a lot of time to think about things we want to see more of, on the show. We both have weird, quirky sense of humors and sensibilities. We're looking forward to taking that and putting it front and center. We've all been here in the trenches, shaping this show and loving it. It's been like raising a child together. We're excited to step into more of leadership position and take the show to places we've been wanting to, with storylines and emotional arcs that really excite us. We're 3 very different people in terms of our personalities, backgrounds, and interests, but we all work very well together. So another thing is we're definitely not just going to blow past Macy. This season is going to be about grief and trauma, and how they can change people, but also how you can either succumb to it or push past it. I really hope that doesn't mean that we're going to have 2 episodes of everybody being sad and they're like, all right, we're over it. Because, CW does move fast. And the characters will get there and find happiness again. We really think it's going to help us make what we think is the most fun, sexy, exciting season of Charmed yet. They talk about the sisters. I guess Rena says she's the middle of 3 sisters, so she's always been attracted to stories about sisters. So this is why I have to say this. It's making it seem like it's a sister, but they've already specifically said in an interview they were not going to be, it's not going to be anything to do with Marisol, because quite frankly, they've been making Marisol look like a hoe for a very long time. I'm just sorry. They have. Excuse my wording, but I mean, there's no other way I can say this. So they're saying it's not going to be one of, Marisol's secret love children. So my question is, if they're sisters and Ray is Mel's dad and Dexter is biologically Maggie's dad, then it would have to be the daughter of either Ray or Dexter. But then how are they magical unless one of these guys got with a magical person outside of Marisol, which is possible because the alternative is she's a cousin or something like that, or somebody that's not even related. And I kind of feel like, honestly, that will break the internet. I think if you made a third charm, one that was not a sibling, it would break the internet. I think the OG charm fans out there would literally get on Twitter and cancel you. Lord have mercy. I was thinking about this. So about the new girl. They said it's an opportunity to bring in an incredibly fun, irreverent, unpredictable personality. She's edgy and smart. She's an artist. She has a wicked sense of humor. But we also like that she's not perfect. She's flawed. She has insecurities and fears like we all do. We're just having a lot of fun, and we're excited to explore how that will affect the dynamic between Mel and Maggie, as well as Harry and Jordan. Please don't hook this girl up with Harry. Oh, my Lord. They also go on to talk about the fact that we shouldn't assume that Jordan is a white lighter. That's interesting. Also, Harry is going to be going through a lot because he lost the love of his life, which means please don't have a rebound relationship with this new character, because again, that's just going to be very effing weird. But they go on, they talk about the fact that she is a wild, unpredictable character, which is fine. But at the same time, I just question how she's related to them. And they're really keeping this under wraps. They're going to wait to the season premiere of this show, and then you'll see her connection. But if we were going to have a theory on it right now, I really don't think she's a sister. And I think it's going to tick a lot of people off in the Charmed universe. Us diehard, longtime Charm fans. Now, I've never been one that really leaned on one way or the other, because the original Charm show was amazing. But it does not sit well. It did not age well in terms of political correctness. So I'm just throwing that out there. At the same time, we have Charm, which is supposed to be more representative, but their casting process shows me that they've got a long damn way to go. So, just pick your poison. But I'm not going to play this OG Charm versus reboot Charm game. I'm not going to do any of that toxic crap because I don't have time for all that. But my thing is, in terms of the sisterhood being established as every Charmed, even in this universe, every Charmed group they've been sisters. So how is this girl a sister? I'm just putting it out there. And I mean, to be fair, if she was Dexter's, because she looks more black, if she was Dexter's daughter with another magical person, then she's not related to Mel at all. Not even a half sister. Same would be if she was supposed to be, basically related to Ray. So if she was Ray's daughter, she would be Mel's half sister, but she would not be any way genetically linked to Maggie. So however they play this game, since they have different fathers, but the same mother, and Marisol is not this child's mother, one of them is not related to her, which means that the sisterhood is going to go from, we'll basically have there's a half sister to this one, and then a half sister to this one. So essentially all three of these girls are half sisters, but only two of them are related to each other at a time. So it's so Jerry Springer. Just make Marisol a hoe. I mean, oh my gosh, guys. Oh my gosh. Did you just really break down the genetics? This is a mess. Again, I'm trying to keep an open mind because what they do could be really good. I mean, what we've had so far has been interesting. So maybe they can fix all of the junk that we've gotten in season 2 and season 3. But at the same time, if Marisol is not this woman's mother, then she is only related to one of them. That's if she's related to either of them. Because again, she literally could not be. Or she'll be a cousin. She'll be one of Marisol's nieces, which more than likely is the way they will go. She'll be a niece because maybe they thought about what I was thinking about and thought how Jerry Springer that was and decided not to go that route. But that means that the charm ones are two sisters and a cousin. I don't know, guys. This is interesting. One of the theories that we had before her casting was people were saying, well, what they're going to do is they're going to make Mel or Maggie have like a long lost twin and they'll just play double roles. But I couldn't see that happening. That's a lot of stress on one actress too. So that is a thing. But again, it's just interesting because the lore, the legacy of the charm ones have always been a sisterhood. It's always been three girls. Now, if you look at the definition of sisterhood, yes, it could also mean love, among women who support each other. I get that. And that might be what they're doing. But how weird would it be if this lady was a charm one from one of the previous charm ones before them, who had a short live, they basically had a short run because one of the sisters died, or both sisters died. I don't know. How weird would that be? And then she just ends up rolling it with the next round, the next group of girls who lost their sister. Maybe maybe the charm ones are like transferable. Like, oh, your team's dead. Come over to this one. I don't know. This is crazy. I guess, as you can see, I've had to sit here and stew in my brain because I was like, did they really just announce this? like this was the one time if you were going to make a sister, you could correct your casting problem, but it is what it is. So let me scroll up because I know you guys have been saying stuff. Okay, I'm a bit concerned with direction of where this series is going. New sis aside, here we are going to get, or how are we going to get back to season 1 sisters, or are we going to continue a hot mess avenue into raging dumpster fire? I say right now we're on the equator of I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna continue to go down this track of basically what the hell is happening in this series, or if we're going to actually have a season that kind of resonates with us and corrects all of the garbage that happened in the last season. Not all of it was garbage, because honestly, I like Jordan. I loved Abigail's character. The introduction of the characters wasn't the problem. The focus on Harry to me has always been the problem. I mean, yes, I liked Hasty, but I felt like he was in the spotlight entirely too damn much. I said this in my season finale review. I was tired of Harry and his charm ones. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. So it's not Charlie's Angels. So I want Harry to take an effing back seat in terms of plot. If this is what you have to have in his contract to get him to be on this show, then you need to go find someone else, because it is not supposed to be about the white lighter all of the time. So I'm just putting that out there, not having it. But on top of that, I mean, who knows? I mean, we might really like this character. I don't know. It's too early to tell. It is too early to tell. Territory like Riverdale and Nancy Drew. Don't get me started on Nancy Drew. I'm trying to. I'm excited for the new season. Let's see if the new showrunners can save the show with this new character. I mean, potentially. I just really don't understand how she's connected. Like, if she's not a cousin, which is I'm telling you now, there are gonna be people that are gonna be very, very in their feelings about her not being a sister if she is a cousin. I'm just saying. And if she's not related at all, you'll see it. You will see it. People will be all over Twitter. You'll see it in all the reviews. People will have something to say about it. I still can't believe we're going to have to start from square one again. Yep. And develop new sisterhood. So is it wrong for me to say that I liked season 1 and I did not like season 2? Again, I get we needed to have an introduction for Abigail and Harry, and Jordan, but I kind of feel like they could have come, to Hilltown. We didn't have to go to Seattle. We didn't have to have them be depowered for most of season 2. We don't need a Power Ranger command center. I don't understand the vision that they had for season 2 of Charm, because when I look at it, the only thing that I can think of is that when Liz and Shapiro took over, they're like, how can we make this our own and drastically effing different? And that's exactly what they went for. And obviously it didn't sit well with everybody, or Madeline Mantock didn't, well, she would still be there. So what's so sad for me is that if Madeline had decided to stay and then they got new showrunners, I wonder if her character would have gone back to season 1 Macy, where she was really interested in science and actually had a life outside of Harry, and not everything was revolved around Harry. I would have loved to have seen these new showrunners write really kick-ass stories for Macy that had nothing to do with having a man, but she's gone, so we don't get to see any of that. So now we have this new girl who, you know, pretty much is, as far as I'm concerned, they actually sound like they're describing Paige a little bit, but more of an artist. But I feel like without that sister connection, like, it's just so weird to me. It's just a weird concept. I didn't look to see how tall this actress was. I wonder if she's around the same height, because I always thought it was interesting how the height difference between Macy, Mel, and Maggie, which nothing wrong with that. I just thought it was interesting. But yeah, it's just something that I was thinking about. Like, if only, I wonder if this decision for Liz and Shapiro to step down came after Madeline decided to leave. And so she kind of missed out on potentially brand new stories that could have been a hell of a lot better. Because if that is true, if that's the truth, that's just effing sad. That is really sad. I feel the same. Hopefully this actress is good as Rose. Well, she might be. If not, then there's always fan fiction and Hail 3 for hopefully better written and fleshed out stories. This is true. I spend a lot of time looking at fanfics for shows I wish had gone the direction of some of my fanfics. I had to come high, Blue Savior, the second I saw who it yeah, I already do. I literally was about to lay down and an alert came on my phone saying, Charmed, cast, blah, blah, blah. And like, I literally just finished the stream. So while we were doing the stream, within that whole block of time, they dropped this. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. OMG, they just love people with an accent. Well, so besides Javicia Leslie, Diggle's actor, and I think there's just a handful, mostly every Black actor in the CW is British or Australian. Legends, it happened in Legends multiple times. Every Black character in Legends of Tomorrow, every one of them have been British. Like every one of them have been British. And even Hot Girl, she was mixed. So I think she was American, but I think she was mixed. But like everyone in Legends of Tomorrow, all of them were British. Look at Martian Manhunter. Martian Manhunter's actor is British. And now in The Flash, that's not the case because he's American. But like everybody else, even Nancy Drew, a show I don't like talking about, Nick's actor is Scottish. I'm like, it's just something they do. I don't know why. I have no idea why. So I'm used to it. I mean, I'm half British, so like, I guess I can't hate on the other side of myself. Watch the sister be named Maya or Meredith. I can't. As long as her name is not Maria, that's all I care about. You name this girl after me. No. Same. Guys, this is a support group, so feel free to lean on each other. Yep. Maya sounds actually not bad. I'll admit Maya, my daughter's name is Mai, so I'm pretty prevalent for the root of that name, so Maya is fine. Or Michelle. No, I'll stick with Maya, not Michelle. Right now, there's no saving Marisol right now, and I'm not sure about Dexter or Ray. I'm not either at this point. From her pick, it's not believable that she's Latina. Yeah, I agree with that. See, I'm ambiguous, so like I get like pretty much mistaken for a lot of stuff. One day I'm just going to pop my 23andMe up here. You guys will be shocked how much crap is in me. But I feel that way about Sarah Jaffrey. I don't feel like she looks Hispanic, but I only say that because, you know, I know she's mixed. I know she's indigenous, white, and Black like me. We have the same mix. Like my dad's father's full-blooded Native American and mother was Black, Nigerian American. And my mother was born and raised in Scotland. So like, we come out every shade and all types. So, but to be fair, even a mixed person can look completely white or completely Black. But I guess my problem with that is I know she's not. Like if you go to her IMDb, it flat out says her dad is Black from New Orleans, and her mother is Irish, from Irish descent, but Australian. And this actress was raised in Australia. She was in a show called Neighbours. It's an Australian soap opera, and she played a character named Haley. So yeah, she is nothing about that says Latina. Not one thing in there says Latina. So I'm telling you, if she comes out being part Latina, we're going to have problems. She looks like Macy a tiny bit. She's a little bit darker, but definitely. She must be from Dexter. I don't see. That's the thing, though. If she is Dexter's daughter, then she is no way, in no shape or form, related to Mel. And then Dexter would have had gone from Marisol, knowing she was a witch and an elder, and knowing about the magical world. He would have married her and then had a baby with another, woman that was also magical and potentially a witch, which means Dexter has a type. He's a witch chaser. So what are the odds, And then Dexter was still hooking up with Marisol to make Maggie. So that's also very weird, depending on how close in age they are. Because, yeah, she's the youngest. I'm thinking Macy was like 30 something, and that will make Mel 27, 28. So I'm thinking that Maggie's 21, 22 in that range. So somewhere between Mel and Maggie, depending on this girl's age, would be her. Now I need to look, I don't know how old she is. I did not look that up, but I wonder if it's going to tell me, sometimes they don't tell you the name or the ages of people. So I'm going to see if I can find her age, because I might be able to, but you never know. But let me see if I can get her age, because that would be very interesting. Okay, Lucy Barnett. How old are you? Yes, I know your backstory, because I'm wondering if she's going to be the little sister. Because if you remember the OG Charmed, I'm pretty sure Rose McGowan was older than Holly, but I have to go back and look at it. It was their ages were not like their real life ages were all different. So, but let me see if I can figure out. Are you going to tell me? Maybe age. She was born, April 7th. That's not telling me anything. It's just telling me she's born April 7th. I don't see a year on here. So I really have no idea. I don't know how old she's supposed to be. Interesting. So yeah, I don't know. But if she's supposed to be older than Maggie, then that means that Dexter had this, daughter, then turned around and had another affair with Marisol while she was married to Ray, and then conceived Maggie. So if she turns out to be Dexter's daughter and she's older than Maggie, they're making this work a lot worse than it was originally. Like, that's beyond Jerry Springer. That is just messed up. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that at all. Let's see. From her pick, it's not believable. I said that. Sorry about that. 1 second. Trying to scroll down. Maya is a pretty name. I thought her name was going to be Macy 2.0 or Mel, because it's likely they just forget that Mel exists. Yeah, that's true. Michelle isn't that bad either. I don't know. I don't mind the name Michelle. I just think Michelle, Mel, because Michelle sounds too much like Mel, unless they call her Mickey or shit. I don't know. It's just weird. But I don't mind the name Maya, and Maya sounds like something that someone you would name an artist over, or like, I think in Republic of Sarah, I think her name was Maya and she was artsy. So, if the CW goes by the same tropes where they take stuff from each other, she'll probably be named Maya. But again, as long as she's not named Maria, that's fine. No Maria. Can't be Maria. Melinda. I don't know. I think the one that's still standing out to me is Maya. Probably not Melinda, because we already have a Melanie, Mel, Vera at the moment. It's going to be a child from Ray or Dexter with another witch mother. It's going to be weird, because if it's Ray, then she's only related to Mel. If it's Dexter, she's only related to Maggie. She has no genetic connection to the other sister. So that is going to be really weird. It's going to be weird. And then for me, it's going to be a mess if she ends up being a cousin. Because if she's a cousin of, like, what if she's like related to like Josefina? Or what if she's like, maybe Marisol has a brother or another sister, and she could be their, that sister's daughter, because we don't know. And she would be related to both of them through the mother, but she would be a cousin. But then this would be the first time in Charmed history that we had two sisters, two half sisters, and a cousin. Ah, my Lord. It's genetic at this point. I mean, they could pick their sister like Lord Farquaad picks Fiona, like behind door number 3. You picked Macy 2.0 and then everyone cheers. That would be hilarious. Oh my gosh. I think she is technically a sister, like a surrogate, or donated her eggs or something, not a secret sister. You know what? If that actually turns out to be true, I might just hit the floor. Like, well, in between Marisol hiding a daughter for, to save her life, and creating another daughter by cheating, and then of course having Mel with the husband, she also found time to donate her eggs, her magical eggs, because surely that kid would not turn out to be a witch. No, that would make her not only promiscuous, she would be stupid. Like, so that is still further Marisol character assassination as far as I'm concerned. What if the new sister has the same storyline as Christy and OG Charmed, who gets kidnapped and raised by someone else? But they already said that it's not going to be, they're implying it's not a connection to Marisol. So she's not, I'm assuming, I'm translating, that means she's not related to Marisol at all. So that, even though I like that theory, I don't think they thought of that, and that's not what they're going to do. I feel like it could be raised because that would explain his multiple trips across the world for his job. And I really don't see Dexter not raise one child without the other. Like, if Macy was introduced, why not the other sis as well? Well, I can counter argue that by saying, but he did do that because he had no connection to Maggie, and that is his daughter. So either Marisol never told Dexter about Maggie, or they came to an agreement that they would be hands off. So technically speaking, out of Ray and Dexter, both of those theories would track. The only thing that would be interesting to me is if Ray didn't know anything about the magical world until Mel and them showed him in season 2, then how did he know that he hooked up with a witch and had a magical kid? So, or at least half, witch kid or whatever. So that to me is, I'm just putting devil's advocate out there, that is just really weird. So my money is more on it being Dexter's kid, and Dexter made, if it had been with Marisol, then he would have made the decision like he did with Maggie. But at the same time, Marisol is not supposed to have anything to do with this child. So it's just, the whole thing is weird. It's just weird. If she's not a sister, it just doesn't make sense because the Charm Guardian said there is another. Well, yes, the Guardian said there is another, but did not say there was another sister. There was not a Return of the Jedi moment where Yoda was saying, you have another Skywalker. No, literally, she was our sister. Like, literally, they said, and she said another one, aka another charmed one. She did not say another sibling. So interpret that how you will. They could do some ritual on Celeste for her to be their new mama and wait a couple years and bam, like it never happened. I need you in the writer's room, Blue. You need to go set them straight. Or maybe the new sister is Macy's twin. But wouldn't Macy know she had a twin? I mean, wouldn't you know this? Because Macy said, I've always wished she had sisters to go to the amusement park with and do things with. Wouldn't she have never had that issue? Because what sibling connection is stronger than twins? I don't know, guys. This is really weird. Or go get future male pop that sucker open and get that baby Benny. Yes, Benny for Benadryl needs to be a thing. It could be another cousin or a sister. I mean, look at Piper, Prue, and Phoebe's ancestors. When Pearl Russell with the fire throwing ability were fighting Phoebe Bowen past Prue with ice power. Yeah, but I mean, again, like I said, I have no problem. I didn't like the idea of them always using Marisol as an excuse to pop out babies, because they made Marisol go from like this powerful elder, seer, to a baby factory and somebody who just had the affinity of cheating. Like she got off on it apparently. But at the same time, I mean, them saying that we are not using Marisol as the reason for this character being in these girls' lives, then that tells me that she's not Marisol's daughter. Now, she could be Marisol's niece, but she's not Marisol's daughter. But if she's not related to Marisol at all, then that really means that they are doing something. And they actually said this. They said in the note, let me see if I can find it, because they literally said that they are excited to do something that has never been done in the original Charmed or this series to date. That makes me wonder if that means not making the third Charmed one a sister. Because they said it's a character they created and they can do whatever they want. That is literally what the new showrunners have said. So interpret that how you will, but that tells me they can do whatever the hell they want. That character literally could be anybody, and then we just have to accept it because this is their show now. So, and again, I don't know how that's going to go down. I don't know how this is going to play out. It's going to be a thing. It's going to be a thing. The episode was called Pardon My Past. I'll have to check it. I have the whole box series of Charm, so I have to look at it. That would be hectic. True that. So then the new sister has been cast. Correction, we don't know it's a sister. We don't know it's a sister. We have to really put this in perspective. She could be a sister. If she is not Marisol's daughter, she's only a sister to one of these girls. So we don't know. Oh, I have an idea. They can give Harry some brain cells. It doesn't help the problem, but he definitely needs them. Yeah, he's a little slow. He's following the Barry Allen chain of slowest thinker. I just want more sisterly bonding. I agree with that, but I mean, we need to have a sisterly bond to begin with. Like they're going to be grieving Macy, which is interesting because again, one of the complaints we always have for season 2 and season 3 is the fact that these girls were hardly ever together. And they started getting together a little bit more in season 3, but like they weren't. The last episode that Macy was on was the first time we ever saw these girls having fun together. Yes, season premiere of season 2, they had a little party, but they were even arguing at the party before they started drinking because, Macy was talking about she was taking this job in another city and moving on with her life. Essentially, the way it looked, she was not going to be a charm one anymore. At least she wasn't going to be a full-time charm one, and so she was breaking the news to Mel and Maggie about it. Or at least she broke it to Maggie and she told Mel, about to tell Mel. And then, of course, they got attacked. And then they ended up losing their powers and somehow surviving with no money, in their magical house in, the command center at Safe Space. So the whole thing took a weird turn, but they never, even then, they weren't spending time together. They went on missions separately. They just were separate. Harry became Macy's number one priority. Like literally, you go back and watch season 2 and 3 when Harry would get hurt and like say Mel got hurt, she would run to Harry and wouldn't even look at her sister. It was just like, oh yeah, you're down. You're okay too? Okay, cool. It was just like an afterthought. It was so effing weird to me. So yeah, they wrote Macy and Harry in a way that was actually really codependent on each other. And I just never liked that because Macy's character in season 1 was so planned out. She was very independent. She was a logical thinker. She was into science. She questioned everything. And she had maintained a tiny bit of that. But when her and Harry got together, it was more like, oh, Harry. Where's Harry? I can't find Harry. Oh, whoa, Harry's in trouble. Oh, Harry wants to do this. And Harry wants to do, I can't touch Harry. Harry. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, those are your only lines. I'm like, your line has Harry in everything you say. Oh, I digress. Harry gets too much attention. It reminds me of that We're the Flash. Like, no, y'all are not. Hell, Barry's not the Flash. He's a Care Bear. Don't get me started on that. And yes to less Harry being a damsel in distress. Please, let's not do this. We don't need to find Harry. He's not Waldo. We don't need to pin the tail on him. He just needs to do what he does. He is a white lighter. He needs to be in a supporting role and let the main characters have their moment and bring him in when he says, okay, I'll do this. And yes, I'll heal you, and then move the fuck on. Because Leo was literally married to Piper and didn't have that much. He had like a mini series all to himself after Wyatt was born, and the whole thing that went down with the avatars and, him killing an elder. But outside of that, Leo took a back damn seat. I don't understand that at all. Season 1 was the best season. I absolutely agree with that. And I want Jada to come back. I still refuse to believe that a girl who was half damn white lighter would not have heard of the girl that she was technically dating before she ran off, when, because she basically got the hell out of Dodge at the end of season 1, why she didn't sense that Mel was still alive. Or should have been affected when all of the other white lighters effing died. Should she not have been like, something is wrong? Jada's just gone. But it's a thing. So it could be cousins. Yep, I think she could be a cousin. No, season 1 was great. I loved season 1. So everybody's saying season 1 was the best season. I absolutely agree with that. Something tells me they might retcon Maggie being Dexter's daughter and in fact Ray's this whole time. Get my water of truth out, guys. So if they retcon that, then that would make everything we thought we knew about this series invalid, because that means everything can be retconned like a damn comic book. So what universe are we in? Did Crisis on Infinite Earths affect this damn show too? I call bullcrap. I will literally get on Twitter, which I hate doing, guys, and I will hashtag the CW Writers Room and ask, are they a part of Crisis in the Arrowverse? Because obviously you are. What Earth are you on? And when's the next retcon and issue coming out? Because that would be BS. I'm sorry. That would be absolute BS. And then that will offend people like me, because honestly, I've always been in my feelings about Maggie's character being half black, because even though she's half black in real life, they had one episode where she explored that part of herself. And then she was like, yeah, but I don't really feel like I know enough about that. I'm really 100% connected. So, and then that was it. That was literally it. And then it was just gone. And it was like nothing. And I'm like, all right, cool. And, for somebody who is this pasty, I have to literally talk about how much I love my blackness all the time so people understand it. You got this whole ass character on screen that's just denying it in a way and then moving the hell on. And that's called great writing. So, yeah, let them say some crap like that. Probably would have, considering Joey Falco, but she already made her choice way back in January, so it was already too far gone. But I mean, technically speaking, and I'm just putting it out there, season 4 had not been shot because of COVID. Everything was delayed. She could have changed her mind before they announced it. She could have said, hey, I actually changed my mind. It depends if they cast the new actor. So if they cast Lucy Barrett like right before the showrunner changed, then I could see that being hard to retcon. But if they hadn't, and they were holding auditions for this character, and then Madeline hadn't left yet, and then she's like, hey, I want to give it another shot, then that's kind of effed up. So, I mean, it just depends on the timeline, because we don't know. Reminder, Paige used to do art. I remember the episode with the music. Oh, yeah, she did. You're absolutely right. And she was painting in her room. You're absolutely correct. So maybe Maya is actually a lot like Paige, too. Because technically, Macy was a combination of Prue and Paige. She had Paige's backstory about being the displaced sister, but she was still the oldest and telekinetic, like Prue. So, I don't know. And it does bother me how every season we get new showrunners. Just what is going on behind the scenes on Charm? I don't know. And then somebody sent me a message a couple of weeks ago on Instagram and told me that Madeline stopped following Mel's actress. And I don't know what's up with that. I know Mel had her baby. I know that I went and looked. So Madeline is not on, does not follow Abigail, actress Poppy. She doesn't follow her, and she doesn't follow Mel, but she follows Sarah Jeffrey, and she follows Harry's actor, Rupert. So there's some drama all around. We don't know the real reason she left. We have no idea. We speculate. We have theories. We make assumptions that it's race-based or ethnicity-based or story-based. There could have been a lot of behind-the-scene drama that we are not privy to because we don't work for this damn set. So we don't know. But it is very weird that she stopped following these people. And I don't know what to say about that because Poppy follows her. So, yeah. And they're both British. So they, well, actually her, Harry, and, Madeline are all British. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what's going on with that. All I know is that everybody follows Sarah Jeffrey. And it's crazy to me. Because I missed season 1, Macy, Maggie, and Mel. They had spark and room for growth. And Harry is a supporting role who had a brain and with common sense. Exactly. And he wasn't a sex object. He wore Doctor Who-like clothes. He was more like Matt Smith from Doctor Who. And then now he's like, open up his shirt. I mean, what the hell? Like, again, I thought Hasty was cute. I didn't have a problem with Hasty. I had a problem with everything in Macy's life being about Hasty. That is not how it works. I love my spouse to death, but if I was Macy, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel. I wouldn't be a voice actress. I wouldn't have a career. I wouldn't do half the shit that I do in this world because all I would be doing is river, river, river. Hashtag Maver. That's my marriage hashtag. My ship name with my spouse, Maria and River. Hashtag Maver. That would be, everything would be Maver. Maver, Maver, Maver. That is stupid. So I don't get that at all. So I'm just putting that out there. Yes, the actress who plays Lynn from Black Lightning. Yeah, she's British. She's gorgeous, but yeah, she's British. And Lynn's character was so cool. They really upped her up. Hello. Once again, I will join your live chat. I don't watch Charm, but you make it sound interesting. Well, Marie Porras. Am I saying that right? Porras. Thank you for joining. The CW really likes foreign Black actors, don't they? Of course, the problem is that it makes it seem like Black American actors aren't as good. That is something that has been debated throughout the acting industry. It's not just on TV. It's happening in theater. It's happening in voiceover world, my world. So yeah, it's a thing. It is a thing. There's a lot of... We are a fractured country, guys. Like we just are. And there's a lot of issues here. So yeah, a lot of people are in their feelings about actors being cast in roles in America that should go to American actors. And there's both merit and issues with that because you don't want to feel like you dislike your fellow actors, regardless of where they come from. We're supposed to be a melting pot, supposed to have acceptance. But at the same time, it's that whole trope of, I can't find a job here, but everybody else from overseas can come over and get a job. And then all of our jobs are outsourced. And it's like, so now I'm in poverty when nobody's helping me in my own damn country. So it's just a whole, it's crazy. It is crazy. I think it would be so cool if this was Macy / another sister from another dimension. Oh, so you want this to be Crisis on Infinite Earths. Okay. I mean, I don't know how the hell they would. Well, I guess they could do that. I mean, they've already had Macy come back from the future and impregnate herself. That's basically what happened. You want to know who got Mel pregnant? Mel. Same reason we have trash shows like Arrowverse, except Stargirl for now. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind Superman and Lois. I really don't. But at the same time, I can see why people would say that it also has its issues. I mean, because I guess it's harder for me when I know they have somebody that can tell them about the comics, and then they just choose actively not to listen. I don't know. Guys, I've been struggling with this stuff for a long, long time. a long, long time. And I just kind of feel like at this point, it's just blowing smoke because nobody's listening. I'm trying to see. I thought I had another. Pretty sure I had another one. Trying to look at another season 4. There was another season 4 like theory that somebody said that that Macy was going to spiritually like take over this new character's body. And so essentially it's still going to be their sister when they need her. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. I think that would be really weird. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I don't know. You can tell me your opinion on that. I think that is very weird. But there is also something I said I was going to do, and I think I am going to do it. There is a really cool comment that got left on a video of mine. So I wanted to say something because this was about, I guess I had said something about why Macy was leaving the series. And I decided that I was going to, when I had the opportunity, I was going to basically address this question. It was going to be on my season 4 theory video, which this is not it. This is us talking about the new actress. I am planning to do another video, but I think what I'm going to do also, I need to address this comment because it really rubbed me the wrong way. And I said I would. So this is from this person, Kendrick Williams. And I told them in my thing, guys, if you are brave enough to write stuff on my channel, don't be upset when I read it. So I basically said I didn't know why Macy was leaving. And, you know, I kind of kept it like, I don't work for the CW. I don't understand, you know, what happens behind the scenes, blah, blah, blah. So this person said, approach the nerd because it's because she's a grown ass woman. And if she wants to leave the show, it is her decision. And like I said, be mad at the producers of the show, not her. And you are mad at her for pretending to be Latino. Are you mad at CW the way they treat their Black characters? I don't hear you yelling about CW treat their Black characters like shit. And I never said I speak for the Latino community. I am speaking the truth. There are Latinos who want to be white, but they steal stuff from Black people. They steal our music from us. And when they get to their top, they want to act like Black people didn't help them get there. Look at Jennifer Lopez. She started off as a fly girl on In Living Color. And then she started dating P. Diddy. And then she dumped P. Diddy when she made it and then started dating Ben Affleck. So you can get mad all you want to. I don't care. I stand by what I said and I mean it. So I'm going to set the record straight because all of you who have been with me from the beginning of this damn channel know that my daddy is Black and Native American. My daddy looks Black as hell. I have never once not claimed my Blackness. If you have followed my Black Lightning reviews, then you will understand that I have bitched at how Jefferson and Lynn, especially Lynn Stewart, a beautiful Black scientist who literally represents what all us Black, Hispanic, POC people strive to effing be, was literally made to be stereotypically a bitch, a druggie, and overall problematic because she was a minority. And it happened in a show that had Black showrunners. So I don't ever on my channel not ever call out, you know, selective information. And what I mean by that, I'm not just sitting here advocating for Hispanic people because, again, I'm not Latina or Hispanic. I just call it like I see it. But I had to call on this comment because, you know, it was left on the channel and it was repeated on another social media thing. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, when have I ever not said that Black characters, if you look at my crisis parodies, and they're time-stamped, I literally said in my crisis parodies, when a Black character shows up, I have the character say, when the hell have you been here? Black Lightning and Digger both said, I've been here the whole damn time. You just act like I'm not here. Or when have you not established that in the CW, Black characters are ninjas? Something is seriously wrong. So I had to point this out because that one kind of got in my feelings a little bit. So yeah, that was weird. Plus, it kind of, when you have broken sentences with no periods and punctuation all over the place, it's kind of hard for me to read it. But yeah, and as for what J-Lo does, I don't give a flying crap. What does J-Lo have to do with anything that I'm talking about? But again, I digress. Cray cray. So I had to spotlight that comment. I don't normally do that, and then I'm really sure that people, especially on this stream, who are of Hispanic, Latino, Latina, heritage, are probably in their feelings right now, because apparently you have copied everything from us. But I'm going to put this out here too. I wanted to tell this person, we take from each other, because birth control, guess what? That was actually discovered by a Mexican scientist. RGB color, I'm a film graduate, also had a Hispanic inventor. So if you are that in your feelings about J-Lo taking your music and copying and living color and her dance moves, then stop watching things in color. And if you're dating, stop using birth control, or stop your partner from using birth control. Don't be a hypocrite. Just stop, because I don't want you to feel like you're copying or taking from another culture. See how fucking stupid that sounds? So yeah, just had to put that out there, because I don't play that shit. All right. Now the angry grandma came out for a second. Let's get back to Charmed. So let's see here. It scrolled down a lot. I'm sorry. So let me. Sorry about that. I saw something about. I'm sorry. My theory is Marisol was pregnant, but it was stolen from a seer, like OG Charmed. I actually would effing love that. But since they kind of are making it seem like Marisol is not in this at all, that would be real. I don't know. Like I said, as long as it's not Macy possessing her, like Whitney, like what's her name? Who was the actress in Charmed? And not Charmed, in Ghost. Who was it in the movie Ghost, when Patrick Swayze was getting taken over by, her name just went right out of my head, by another actress. I don't want to see that in Charm. I don't want Macy to, because obviously it wouldn't be the actress herself, because she's gone, but I don't want the girl to be standing there, her eyes glow, and all of a sudden she's Macy. That would be so effing weird. That would be weird. So I don't know. If they went that route, that would be really weird. I just had to say that, but okay, let's scroll down. I'm trying to get to as many comments as I can. So let me scroll up, because it definitely jumped a little bit. Okay, we did that one. We read that part. Okay. Start here. I think it would be cool to see if Macy, another sister from the dimension, that's where I think I left off, or at least somewhere near there. Stargirl. So that seems like the last one that I read. Now that isn't correct. Latina can look like anything. That's very ignorant to say. Yeah, it's just like mixed people. We come out all shades, sizes, whatever. There are people that you would not know were mixed at all. And like I have a girl that I went to school with in college, not high school. She was half Russian and half Ghanaian, and looked completely African, but her mother, and spoke fluent Russian. And it's just genetics. We just know she's not, and that's okay. Yeah, that's why. I mean, she's from Australia, Irish, and her dad. I wonder what part of New Orleans her dad's from. I wonder if it's Cajun. That's kind of cool. But yeah, New Orleans daddy and an Irish descendant, but Australian mother. So yeah, can't the showrunners hire writers from Stargirl? No, they're too busy fighting the CW. Please let us be good. They are making these parents look like hoes. I mean, not making, they are hoes. The damage is done. She was only in 7 episodes of Neighbors. That's like a week and a half of Neighbors time. That's funny. I'm sorry. So she was a guest character, because that's like the thing everybody knows her from. I've never heard of her. So is going to be the middle sister. So if she's the middle and Dexter ends up being her daddy, that is an absolute Jerry Springer episode right there. The new girl is supposed to be older than Maggie. Yep, that's it. Like I said, if she is, I'm hoping she's a cousin. But again, I'm telling you, if she's not a sister, a lot of everything we learned about Charm is not going to make sense. And they did say they're doing something that never happened on the OG show. So I don't know. I don't know how to take that. I don't know how to take that. And I don't think this is even going to premiere until 2022. So we have to sit here, and I'm going to come up with a bunch of theories, and I'm going to make a live stream about it, because that's, I was waiting on the turnout and Eloy, but he's got some stuff going on. So, but we definitely need to get together and do a season 4 kind of breakdown of what we think could potentially happen. Because I have some ideas. I'm really worried, and I'm really worried they're gonna retcon where they live. Like, I would not be disappointed if they went back to Hilltown. I really wouldn't, and left Seattle altogether. But I don't think they will, because I mean, the likelihood that Jordan would go would be very slim. I know he's kind of starting something with Maggie. I don't know how far it's going to progress or where they're going to be when the season starts. But I absolutely 1,000,000,000% think that if these new showrunners bring in this new character and she's not a sister, it's not going to make sense. Like, it's just not going to make sense. I'm not saying it's not something they can do. It's just that you can't stress all these generations of sisters and then not have a sister. So that means if she is a sister, she's not going to be biologically related to one of the girls. And so that's just weird. That is really weird. No, Alyssa was older than Holly. The order went Shannon, Alyssa, Holly, then Rose. I thought Rose was older than Holly by like a year. I have to look into that. But I did know that Shannon was the oldest in real life. I did know that Phoebe was older than Holly, but I could have swore that Holly was the youngest out of all of them. But I'll look at that again. If she is not related to them, I will be pissed. A lot of people will be. I'm telling you. Lucy Barrett is in her 20s. Okay. But do we know like her age? Mona, Maya, Mariah, Melinda, Rose, Monica, Mora, Mimi, Melrose, Marina, Meryl, is that Man, or Mercy? I will tell you now, I'm instantly deleting Mariah and Marina because that's too close to Maria. Like, Mona would be cool. Maya, I don't know. Maya still stands out to me, but I could see Maya. Melinda. No, because Melinda is too, we already have a Melanie, so Melinda would be too close. I'm surprised that Melinda is not Mel's name instead of Melanie. I don't know why, it just flows really well. Melinda Vera instead of Melanie Vera. Yeah, whatever. Maybe Mona. Mona and Maya, I think, are the standouts on this. They should have just made Marisol get around. Well, if they were going to cast Sarah Jeffrey and Madeline Mantock as two characters that were half Latina when they're not in real life, then they should have just made Mel, who is fully Latina in real life, half Black. That would have pissed everybody off, but then they would have saw how stupid this is, and maybe they would have stopped this shit altogether. I'm like, I don't know. My theory is Marisol was pregnant, but it was stolen from a seer. Okay, I already read that one. And again, I do like that idea a lot, but I just don't think Marisol even knows this girl. I don't think she knows of this girl. You know, if she was still alive, she would have no clue who this girl is. I'd be hard pressed to think that she would. But then again, okay, so I can accept Dexter being the dad because there is a little bit of a gap between Mel and Maggie. So yeah, Dexter does not have to be faithful to anybody because him and Marisol were no longer together. So in retrospect, he could have gone off with another woman, not even realizing she was a witch or magical, and had this kid. And then the woman never told Dexter that she was pregnant. I can track with that, but that still means if she's a secret love child of Maggie's bio dad, which would make her have even more issues because she'll be like, well, dad didn't want to know me. And obviously he didn't want to know you. And they would bond. And then it will be the whole situation over again because Macy bonded with Maggie and not really with Mel. And then found out that her and Maggie were whole sisters. And they do the same crap with this new girl and Maggie bonding. And then and Mel would be the sister that was on the odds or this, pretty much on the outside. And I don't know how that would work. And then if this girl is going to be kind of more like an artsy activist, pretty much she's another version of Mel. So They may butt heads a lot, and then we'll have the whole dynamic all over again. I don't know. Either way, this is weird. It's just really weird. Mercy sounds like Macy. Mercy is also Lex's bodyguard, so we're gonna leave that alone. The writers did say that we're gonna see more of Dexter, Ray, and Marisol's saga. Oh Lord. Oh my God. She is the secret love baby of Dexter. Dexter knocked up a witch, and the witch probably never told Dexter that he had a baby. And so she's going to feel even more abandoned. And then she's going to meet her siblings, and she's going to be Maggie's full-blooded sister. And she's going to be no relation whatsoever to Mel whatsoever. So basically, literally all of the charm ones are technically half sisters, because Maggie is the half sister of Mel and would be the half sister. Or actually, no, that's not true. We have two whole sisters, and we'd have the same exact dynamic we had before, only Mel would not be related at all to this girl. That is so messed up. That is so messed up. The names that I see this child being named are Maya, Monica, or Marinette. I would go with Maya or Monica. Yeah. Maya and Monica, I think, are really cool. Either of those, I think, would be really good. Maybe Ray is a witch and Marisol's brother is making him related to Mel. Just kidding. Sorry, I'm all over the place today. This makes you crazy, doesn't it? It makes you think that way. Yet Monica and Maya would do wonders. I like Maya a lot, but I'd be down with Monica too. Honey, we don't do incest. I know you're trying, but sweetie, no. Okay, parallel universe sister. You know what? Why not? Why not? Who is her parallel parents? Who are her parents? I would love to know this. Maybe it's a spirit sister, a previous charm one who was reborn, making them sisters, but not sisters. That's what I was thinking. I said, that is my odd theory, that it's one of the charm ones that was in a previous sister group that died and was either reborn, or she's a survivor of a previous charm sister group. And though she just comes there and then bonds with the sister. So essentially she was always a charm one. And then it rolled over to the new sisters. And then, how messed up would it be if she was literally the charm ones right before they were, and she lost both of her sisters, not one. And then so by proxy, when she gets with the charm ones, she becomes the third charm one, but not actually related. And nobody really could say anything about it because she was originally a charm one to begin with. That would be an interesting plot twist. I don't know if they're going to do that, but that would be really interesting. That might be on my season 4 theory video. Maybe Dexter or Ray has a latent witch gene, because we've seen plenty of those in both the charm series and the novels, like it skipped the parent but was activated in the kids, i.e. Kareem, Billy. Could be. Could be. They better make her a sister. Yeah. Now I agree, that would be weird. So is it the cousin? Possibly. They'd ruin the show. I miss season 1. I miss season 1 so much. Why in the hell did they get rid of those showrunners? What did they do wrong? I don't understand. I've always thought that the only sister witches as charm ones were weird. I thought it would have been cool to see, I think it cut you off, 3 brother charm ones. Yeah, I think the premise, though, obviously, as long as they were all siblings, I'd still be okay with that. To be fair, it said not using her secrets, so either she's not Marisol's daughter or she needed money and donated her eggs when she first came to America. That's not a big drama or scandal. But my problem with that madness was, if she donated her eggs, she is an elder witch. So then her kids they'd be half witch. So that's irresponsible, because if you're donating your eggs just to make money, they're going to a regular human who they know nothing about the magical world. So you're really endangering, as an elder, you're exposing the magical world, or at least knowing of the magical world. You're exposing the magical world, whether she did it while she was an elder or before she even became an elder. You are literally being irresponsible by doing that. It's no different than, some parents who have like a chronic illness and they don't want to pass it to their offspring, so they choose not to have children for that reason. That's literally the same type of scenario, only it would be with magic, because she'd be passing magic down to these children that would know nothing about their parentage on her side, and nobody would be there to explain it to her. So no, I don't like that. I think that's not a good idea. Christy and Corinne. Ugh. 3 brother charm ones. Like I said, I would not be opposed to that. I've always thought, and I have the Charm comics, but remember at the end of Charmed, Leo and Piper had a daughter that they named Melinda. So, they had Chris, they had Wyatt, and then they had Melinda. And I thought that those 3 ended up being the new Charm ones. That's 2 brothers and a sister. Siblings. I wish they had established in the Charm universe from day one that they had to be siblings, not that they had to be sisters or brothers. And then it would have been an open season, and then it could be whatever the hell they wanted. They could have had a brother or whatever. But they never established it that way. It just made it look that way at the end of the original Charm series. So I don't know. What if Marisol had a twin sister who had a daughter? Technically, the children of twin siblings are also siblings because they share so much DNA. First cousins, yeah. I mean, it'd still be a cousin, but yeah, I guess I can see that logic. So are we going to do the old ones, Ancient Demon storyline and the Magical Shift storyline, along with the resurgence of Nina? Who knows? I mean, quite frankly, they may be trying to diverge completely from the OG Charmed. So the verbiage said, this new character, we can do anything we want. That means reinvent the entire Charm universe. That's what I'm getting out of that. And I don't know how that's going to go down. This series this season will either make this show better and give them a guaranteed season 5, or it will have this show canceled. So we'll see. I feel like Maggie is going to be a wreck, and Lord have mercy for Mel. Marisol's death destroyed Mel, so she was so pissed at the world, and I feel like she's going to revert back, and Maggie is going to need more help. Yeah. It would be cool if she is from another Earth. I think that's a really cool. I mean, what if she's from a war-torn, timeline where maybe they didn't stop like the Source or anything they fought so far in seasons 1, 2, or 3, and so she skips to their Earth and then connects with her sisters and that Earth. That would be interesting. That would be really interesting. I just don't know if they thought that through as much. They may make it just simple. I mean, yeah, this is crazy. If we remember from the original Charmed, when they looked at their family tree, there were several variations of what created the Charmed ones. I think Maria was right. It was part of my past. No, I didn't say Nicholas said that, but yeah, thank you for giving me credit for that. But yeah, I do think, and like I said, they've established though that a sister normally died in this version of Charmed. I don't know. I think it'd be really cool though. I like the theory of this girl being a survivor of a Charmed group, like being a previous Charmed one, and therefore by proxy, she could be a Charmed one with this group, because essentially once you're a Charmed, it's almost like Narnia, once a king and queen, always a king and queen of Narnia. Well, maybe once a Charmed one, always a Charmed one, even if you don't have a Charmed group. And the moment she came in contact with a Charmed group that lost a member, then maybe she and them could get together and become a new version of Charmed. And then I think people would accept that, them not being sisters, if she was actually from a Charmed sister group and she, is essentially technically her backstory was being a Charmed one before. But I don't know. That's just me. I always want to bring up that episode in Cousin Situation. I already did that, dude. It was Nicholas. I always give credit. Yes, bring Jada back. Please bring Jada back. It bugs me when people get mad at Iris for saying we are the Flash, but they sobbed when Groot said we are Groot, even though the connotation was the exact same. Also, she said it once. People don't like Iris for a lot of reasons. Some racist, some plot driven. But honestly, guys, I'm going to tell you this. as somebody who loves the comics and somebody who thought season 1 of The Flash was actually okay. The problem is the writing itself. Iris West and Iris West Allen in the comics is Lois Lane. And they never let Candace Patton be Lois Lane because that's basically the issue the entire time. Like it's horrible that her character was assassinated. So here I'm saying it again. I'm supporting another Black character being assassinated on the Arrowverse because her character is assassinated. If you read the comics, and there's no reason why Iris could not have that same setup. You don't have to make her originally from the future, but you could have made Iris exactly the driven Pulitzer Prize winning reporter that she was in the comics and very supportive to Barry, but having her own damn life like she was in the comics. Because her skin is Black does not mean she cannot be that same character. Her skin color does not dictate her personality and her story in the damn comics. This is not Silver Age comics. You can do whatever the hell you want. And they chose to make Iris like this. Iris didn't even major in journalism. She majored in psychology. She's not stupid. She majored in psychology. My spouse has the same undergrad degree. And as last time I checked, that's actually a science. And people are like, Iris doesn't know anything about science. Well, technically, she has a psychology degree. If you go back to the pilot episode, she was actually writing her thesis for grad school. But she took, I think, journalism as an elective and then decided that she was going to be a reporter. And then they hired her without a degree. This happens. It happens all the time in the Arrowverse WB world. Because look at Smallville. Lois Lane didn't go to college for journalism. Clark didn't go to college at all and didn't, he went for a millisec. I was going to go for a millisec, but did not get a journalism degree. And both of them are reporters for the Daily Planet. So in the superhero world, you don't need a college degree, I guess. So in comics they did, but so yeah, I understand that. I'm on the same page of leave Iris the hell alone. It's not her fault. The writing sucks. I hope Mage is a go get her demon throwing people down alleys. I mean, you never know. It's all good. Damn, I'm not sure how I feel about this. Everybody is thinking that way. I'm telling you, it's like when I saw this, I always thought in my head, I was like, shit. Like, this could be a good thing, or this could be an absolute train wreck, and this could just basically it's like going down that train, down that track, which you want to stop. You want somebody to pull the brake, but nobody can pull the brake because it's inevitable that you're going to crash. And so I don't know if this is what this is, the train crash we can't stop, or if it's actually somebody did pull the brake and we have a new track and the new track is great. I don't know. The chaos crisis. That's how my insides feel, Blue. Just joined. Hi, Chris. They just cast the 3rd Charmed member. ? Sister, cousin, alien. I don't know. Charmed season 4 drinking game. Oh, yeah. I'm right there with you. They better not retcon it. Maggie needs to get to know Macy's family since they are her family too. Absolutely. If Dexter has a family, because I'm beginning to think that, we didn't even know Marisol had people in Puerto Rico until they just started talking about it. So who knows? It'll be funny if this new charm one doesn't know Latin. Yeah, I wonder what kind of power she would get. Let's see. We already have the non-active ability of empath / telepath / she kind of gets visions. I don't really know if she'd be clairvoyant, but she kind of gets visions. And then we got Mel, who is Elsa and Human Torch combined. And while she was pregnant, she was able to freeze time, but we don't know if she still can because she never used it after the baby came out. So I was gone. So I don't know. Maybe another telekinetic, as long as she's not doing the white light or telekinesis stuff that Paige is, which means they've definitely run out of ideas, then I'm okay with that. Maybe a variation of telekinesis. Yeah, that's what I said. So instead of Mel Piper having the breakdown about Macy's character, so it's going to be Maggie to lose it when it comes related to the sister. That makes sense because they already showed her having panic attacks. So she's already struggling. And that's why I said it. Magdalena referenced her black side one time during these almost 4 seasons. They gave everything black, yep, to Macy's character, which means makes no sense to me. It is, and what's so irritating to me too is that like they did not address it right. Like the L word, Generation Q, Bet's character, Jennifer Bill, she's very ambiguous. Unless she told you she was half black, you don't know. I get that all the damn time. I have to tell people what I am because people make assumptions based on how I look. So I get it. This is what racism really is. It's not about your actual ethnicity. It's about what they think you are. So I understand with Maggie, when you look at Maggie, you don't know what she actually is, and she can pass for things. I get that. But at the same time, it's like when you're an ambiguous mixed person, you're either ashamed of being black or they don't write anything about it. It's like, it's stupid. And then you got Macy, who's a little bit darker. She was not dark at all. I'm sorry. I call BS on that. She was not dark enough to experience half of the stuff that she went through. Plus, she was ambiguous a little too. But they gave her all of the BLM storylines, like all of them, but nothing to Maggie. It's like they weren't even effing related in this show. It's crazy to me. They literally could be together and they would have like, which to be fair, you can't have totally different experiences. But I mean, if you look at, Madeline, she can be mistaken for a lot of different things. And so like, look at Zoe Saldana. Zoe Saldana is darker than Madeline Mantok is in real life. And she didn't get half the shit. As a matter of fact, when she played Nina Simone, people were up in arms over that crap. And she calls herself Black and Dominican. She's Dominican, but she's a Black woman. But people don't see her that way. So like, it's weird. It is so weird that in this scenario that Maggie had no connection to her Blackness whatsoever. Ever. I don't get it. But it's CW, Dare to Defy. I heard something about this, that she would get the same power as Shadowcat, Kitty Pryde, and so she's gonna phase through things. Okay. Well, Macy was close with Maggie, so it would make more sense. True. When is premiere coming? I need to mentally prepare. I don't think they're coming out till 2022. I don't even think they actually started filming yet. What if it was like the mom donated her eggs to someone, making her not a hoe but still related? Because we already addressed that, and I think that would be irresponsible to donate eggs unless it was to another elder. I can't see her randomly just donating eggs because then you're basically putting your magical genes out there to be discovered. So I don't like that. So Maya Monica could be either a telekinetic or what we've seen earlier with Francesca, translocation witch, or a hybrid between the two. Or a completely new power, because I mean, why not? Sounds cool. Girl, what is she talking about? She's all over the place. Didn't even finish her thought. Yeah, that's my angry grandma. I don't mean to be rude, but not really because she was rude, but she jumped from example to example while explaining the example. She was just saying random things. The comment is bringing out the crazy Brenda. Everybody hates Chris. My side of me coming out. I was flabbergasted. I'm like, wow. Wait, that comment was on this channel. They must really not be familiar with who you are. Yeah, it was on. I believe it was on the season finale. No. It was on the Macy, why Macy was leaving video. I was like, wow. And I told them in the comment section that I was going to spotlight it on I said I was going to do it in my season 4 review, but I decided why not just do it now. I don't always agree with you, but even I know you never blame actors. Maybe they are new and saw your comments and took it out of context. Now, I really think because I talk about on this channel, and I do this in my mixed identity videos, and mixed exposure erasure videos. I'm a big advocate for representation, but I'm not one of these crazy people. I know that actors have to act. This is not a shot at the actors, because I mean, at the end of the day, they got bills, they got rent, they got to pay. I get it. And to be fair, Sarah Jeffrey has played a Latina character before. She, in Shades of Blue, she played Jennifer Lopez's daughter, and she played a full Hispanic character. So, and she's just not. And so I understand that when you are mixed, it's hard to find a role that will fit exactly what you are. I struggle with this all the damn time. But at the same time, it's like CW promoted the show as being Hispanic. And then they said, okay, well, we're going to have Afro-Latinas. But then you don't give it to Afro-Latina actresses. You give it to half Black, half white, or part indigenous, characters, which almost makes it seem like cultural appropriation in a way. And so I just talked about that. I'm like, it's interesting that that's the track they go down. It's like, you cannot tell me, you cannot find. As a matter of fact, I want to say that Ruby's actress is actually Afro-Latina. Don't quote me on that. I have to go back and look. But what is the irony that they have Ruby, who potentially is Afro-Latina, no, in a series with two women who are not Afro-Latina at all, representing you? That's messed up. And as allies, we can't get mad when they don't cast a character that's dark enough for darker Black characters, which is effed up. Like, and if you saw somebody that looked like me running around playing in anybody in Wakanda, I give you permission to get pissed because it was never colonized. So that doesn't make any sense. So you can't get up in arms about that and then not, for your allies, for other POC people, say, you know what, that's effed up. That's all I'm saying. So, like, I don't know. I guess they took offense to that. I guess that made me ashamed of my other half and racist. I don't know. The thing that irks me is the show is season 4, or 4 seasons, is with 3 different cycles of producers and still no producers of color for a show about women of color. All I can say is, what the fuck? I'm scared. Yeah, I didn't. Well, okay. So I think one of the showrunners is actually Latina. But I agree. I did see pictures of the writing room with the 3 women behind the scenes, and they're all white. So, but let's be clear. I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of Black writers on Batwoman, and how they write Ryan, you would not think they were Black. So I'm just putting it out there. Sometimes the shade of your skin does not make you aware. Include OG cast in season 4. They won't come anywhere near this. I think we can workshop a translocation teleportation power into Paige's version of telekinesis, but how do we expand upon this when it comes to boosting or advancing their powers in the future? I agree with that. That is very, that's tricky. Charmed is bad for my mental state. Myself, season 2 was a mess. That's why I think Charm may have started my angry grandma. I don't know. I don't know. Is Poppy still in season 4? Who knows? We got new showrunners. Does Abigail even exist anymore? Who knows? I love how they went out with this whole potential for Mel and Abigail, who, by the way, has a hell of a lot more chemistry than her and Ruby, because Ruby and her are a U-Haul relationship. I'm queer. I can say it. It's a U-Haul relationship. It got everything between them got developed off the camera, off set, or offline, or whatever. Not anywhere that we saw it. It was basically behind the scenes, because nothing got addressed in their relationships. They didn't work out any problems. They haven't worked out anything. Ruby just basically became submissive all of a sudden. They basically character assassinated Ruby, because she was like independent. She was adamant that she didn't want to be in a magical world, and all of a sudden she's in a magical world. So it's like, okay, I'm just going to kiss your ass, Mel, because I want to stay on the show. I'm sorry. I had read it somewhere. Must be misinformed. Yes, that's why I stopped watching halfway through season 3. I'm only watching season 4 to see what they do with this new sister. It's going to be interesting. Ruby and Mel's relationship is dull at best. Yes. And it's so sad, because Ruby as a character is very sweet and has so much potential. It's stupid. It's stupid. Fun fact, did you know that Raven's revival, Disney approached Raven and said, do you want Raven Baxter to be lesbian? And Raven said no, she wanted her character to be her own person, and some are mad. I did not know that. Because she's a lesbian in real life. I think if a person in the LGBT community wants to play a character that's not their sexuality, there shouldn't be a problem with that. It actually, for me, I don't see that negatively, because a lot of times when you come out as LGBT, they try to typecast you. So I kind of feel like that's fine. But again, you're going to find people on both sides of the fence. There is extremities in every cause. So, people sometimes just like to be mad about shit. That's literally it. We are in a pandemic. We're sitting at home and we have to get online and be pissed all the time. That's literally what that is. So my comment, this is coming from my almost 45 years on this planet. They'd be all right. I don't want to see Harry hook up with this new character. It would be a disaster. Please don't have that happen. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. I want to see more history on Ruby. I want Ruby's last name. What is Ruby's last name? Does anybody know? I mean, what is it? Calling her selfish and robbing people of representation because she didn't want to be typecast. Yep, that's exactly the point I was making. It's just, like I said, people can be sweet and people can be absolute a-holes. It's just what it is. I hope the Buffy reboot isn't this much of a dumpster fire. I literally can't recommend the show to my friends, even though I'm still watching it. I know, it's hard. I know. I feel the same way. They made Ruby into a witch version of Kelly Olsen. Yeah, that's a really good comparison. I'm surprised Abby is not the new sister. The internet would die. Die. Also, does Parker know about Abby's half-sister? I don't know if she knows about Waverly or not. If he knows about Waverly. Good question. Well, thing with W. What is Jada's last name? So is it? I don't think they, because I keep trying to think, did they ever reveal her last name? I don't think they've ever said what her last name was. Like, ever. She's just Ruby. I mean, I can call her Ruby Rose. Not the actress, but the Ruby character. But I don't know. I think where Raven, her character, was clearly straight, and changing that would have felt like it was being done for any reason other than Raven is a lesbian in real life. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they got mad at her when she said that she considered herself to be human before an ethnicity. You know, this is how I feel about that. Representation is really important. Being proud of who you are is very important. I am proud of my Black and Native roots because I have to put it that way, guys. My grandmother, Nigerian American, my grandfather, full First Nation Native American. I'm proud of both of those. I'm proud of being Scottish. That's who my mother was because I love my parents. And when you love your parents, then you have to love their cultures and who you are. And when you don't love who you are, then you self-hate. That is the real definition of self-hate. But I also like being a human being. I don't want to be a pigeon. I don't want to be a beetle. I sure as hell don't want to be a wasp. So when I say that I consider myself human, then I think that's actually not a bad thing. But in this social climate, it's taken as you hate yourself. You don't like your other side. You're a racist. We need to get to a part on this planet where we all consider ourselves human first, and we are nowhere near that. So a lot of people, and yes, Raven Simone can be weird, but a lot of people get in their feelings about her. And I do say that I admire the fact that she just doesn't give a damn. So it's a thing. I honestly figured that Ruby and Jada could be something great if they actual development and her own agency. Like, what are their last names? And Ruby's powers, aside from the basic skills, are her mom. She keeps talking about going to see her mom. You're like, yeah, it's a thing. Maria, do you think season 4 is going to be the final season? It depends on how they portray this new character. And the acceptance of this new character by the masses. Because honestly, I don't know if Batwoman's going to survive after this new season. And that's only because they had so much potential with Ryan Wilder to do a Black, strong superhero. But instead, her strength and her values and her everything is almost verbatim Kate Kane. She has her whole life. Like everything that was Kate Kane's is now hers. And there's no real, I don't even know who Ryan Wilder is. That's the problem. So with this new character, she needs to have an identity other than the replacement for Macy. Because then it's going to get old real soon. It really is. I also shocked that Lucy ain't the new sister. Well, we don't know that. We don't know who she is. I'm like, we don't know who she is. Ruby Red. Yeah, Ruby Red. I'll take it. Basically, Hasty is still my end game, even with the 4th episode's sister, and Harry better not hook up with the new character or no one will stop watching. No one will stop watching CW. I understand. I understand. Jade Shields. Ruby Rover. Is that Ruby Rover? That's funny. Someone said Jada Shields. Jada Shields is her last name. Ruby is the one we don't have a last name for. So I do know that Jada was adopted though, right? So is Shields her adopted family's name? Because I remember her saying she didn't know who her real parents were. Jordan being a white lighter, though. Well, we don't know that Jordan's a white lighter because the showrunners had thrown shade on that and said, don't assume that he's a white lighter. According to the Charmed fandom, Ruby's last name starts with a W. So Ruby who? Question mark. Ruby Winchester, crossover confirmed, multiple CW. Oh, Lord. So what is her name? Ruby William? Or Wilson. I feel like Charm wastes its premise at every opportunity. Jinky power development, sucky romantic plots, wasted plots, the Sakana versus the Elders. Macy, yeah, that would have been cool. Macy being half demons. Do the writers have gas left? Do they have gas at all? That's really the question you need to ask. Ruby needs her powers back. She's a liability without them. True. Except she doesn't want them back. But now she wants them. We don't know what the hell Ruby wants. She is basically right now, she is the JJ whipped. So I don't know what happens after that. But that is what's happening with her. She's doing what all people do in a relationship. She is becoming what the partner is and what the partner needs without putting her own needs, wants, and desires ahead of herself. When the honeymoon is over, it's going to fade fast because that's what happens when you don't work out your stuff from the beginning of your relationship and know what each other wants. It's the same crap that happened with Alex and Maggie and Supergirl. They got into this long, heated, romance, got engaged. We're going to get married. And then Alex found out that, Maggie doesn't want to have children. A conversation that should have been had in the effing beginning when you guys have started to start sleeping, with each other or staying at each other's house or living with each other. That should have been decided before anybody asked anybody to get married. So that is a problem. That is absolutely a problem. Ruby really does need her powers. She's not bringing much to the table. She's smiling. She's cute. She is pretty. She's supposedly an artist with a passion for life and art. Most artists are, so that's good. Batman season 3 is finale season. They've already announced it. What? It's the final season? Really? Yeah, that tracks. Sorry, she isn't Latina like you wanted. I don't care if she's Latina. I basically said she should be Afro-Latina. I'm glad you're in here, though, because I love that we shared the little quote that was written because that's what needed to happen. Because I love when people make assumptions about other people and obviously do not watch all of my videos. So, yes, I may be throwing some shade at you. That's not very professional, but, you made another comment, so I had to make one back because we seems to be on that tangent. So, but in the future, when you do write messages, please put punctuation in so that they're not run-on sentences and then I actually make sense. Just a little grammar suggestion. I actually think the show's best handled sisters has been Maggie by far. She is an improvement on Phoebe in the last seasons of OG Charmed as a character. The only problem I have with Charmed in that regard is they do not handle mental health very well. Especially her panic attacks. It seems to happen every 4th or 5th episode. So they do not do a really good job. And then when Abigail was talking about basically being suicidal, they were like, meh, grow a pair. It was really stupid. It's not a reboot. It's a continuation. It's taking place in the original universe. People need to stop using the word reboot for everything and learn the difference between reboot, revival, continuation. Yeah, but when we discuss it, Madness, people say reboot. So when I say Charmed versus Charmed reboot, it's because that's what they've deemed it. As a matter of fact, in one of the Comic Con, I think, panels, somebody in the showrunner circle even said it was a reboot. So the problem is that everybody describes it a different way. So that needs to be something that they are all canon and on point about. Reboot means to start continuity from scratch. I got mad. You can tell when I'm mad when I start typing in caps and misspelling words. It's not hard to not get mad. I get it. So is the witch versus demon war going to start again? I'm confused because if Abby left, then who took over? That was something I asked in the season finale because, I have no idea who's in charge of the demons now because she was the only one keeping the charm ones, and the witches and demons from fighting. So I have no idea who's going to be running that show. Mel seems to have hardly gotten storyline like she did in season 1. It's almost like she got demoted for Macy and Harry. Ruby is just not is a love interest. Nico and Jada were made, but I really loved Nico. But I mean, attraction wise, I thought her and Jada had a lot of attraction. Nico has to come back. I think she's on. Well, she was on Manifest. She's on another show too, but Manifest I think is going to Netflix for its last season. So I don't know if she can, because if they are filming Manifest simultaneously, then she won't be able to. Ruby will get killed. I don't want her to die. I just want her to have her own stuff. Negan from the TWD is the father and hooked up with Marisol, and that's how the new sister was made. Sorry, just making crap up like the showrunners used to do. I like it. I like it. Plot twist, turns out Prue is possessing the new charm one. A lot of people would love if it was Prue. Ruby Min is going to flip over her dating a witch, let alone a charm one. I don't understand why her values just went out the window the moment her and Mel technically became official. It's just really weird. I don't get that. In the world of Jim Hanso's Guardians of the Galaxy, who is Ruby? True that. The writers don't even know who Ruby is. Very true. Are they also going to explain why they are related to Melinda Warren? I mean, I don't know, because they later on went with the Buffy way. Once the Slayer dies, the next one is called. Yeah, and the fact that in the pilot episode, we saw Melinda's picture in their Book of Shadows. I don't know. I'm more concerned with how we're going to be dealing with Harry, Magical Barry, and Spitfire Brigade. True that. Let's go with Reimagine. I mean, hey, I like Charmed Reimagine. I have no problem with that. Technically, it is a reboot, considering that neither of the Selfish Hallow sisters have appeared nor or even been mentioned. Yeah. I mean, if you really think about it in true definition, technically Charmed is rebooted because it's a brand new show. But at the same time, a lot of people, like, it's not a continuation. It's not a retelling, technically. Well, technically, I guess you can't say it's a retelling with different characters, but reboot seems to be the closest. But my thing is, one of the showrunners called it a reboot. So, I mean, we can argue all day, but they said it. So I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, the way they handled Abby's mental issues was messed up. Yep. We haven't seen their Melinda Warren. No, we have not. Except we did see Melinda Warren in the opening of their book. In the pilot episode, when they first opened the Book of Shadows, her picture was right there. So I don't know. I'm just hanging around here. I'm already caught up with Charm just by this interaction and interesting conversation. Yeah, it's Charmed is something you either really love or you really hate. I don't even know if there's an in-between. I think people put up with it, but I don't know. It's a thing. Abby says she was still going to be doing that, holding the demons in line. I wonder how, if she's off traveling with her sisters. I guess she could shift there, so maybe that's a threat. If Abby's gone, then the demon overlord position would go to Godric, and we are going to be dealing with witch hunt season. That is very true, because he does not. Where is he, though? We haven't seen Godric in like forever. Charmed is a reboot. I was talking about the Buffy continuation. So, but isn't that technically a reboot? I thought that they were recreating the whole thing and making Buffy black. I haven't read the synopsis on what they're doing, but I guess I probably should look into that. They better call the show Charms. Charmess. I like it. Rebooting the reboot. Yes. The Selfish Hallow sisters, that is some huge shades. Don't do Prue like that. Yeah, Prue is my favorite too. Honestly, it took me a long time to accept Paige. I mean, a long time. So Melinda is in every Charm set Book of Shadows around the world. Yeah, but why? Like, why is she? A cool concept of the show would be to have the sisters time travel whilst meeting former Charm ones. That could be an interesting, easy direction to reboot season 4. I thought they were going to do that with the damn command center. That is such a waste of time being in there. Such a waste. The writers are the show's biggest big bad. True. They are the main villains of this. I think just because someone doesn't like something doesn't mean they shouldn't recommend it. Maybe they might like it more than they should have the chance to decide for themselves response to previous. Now, I get that. Like, I think that, again, there are going to be there's there are technically two types of Charm fans. There are OG Charm lovers, and then there are OG Charm lovers that like the reboot. Now the new people that come to Charmed, they are another section. And so when they watch the show, they're watching it for storyline, plot, and then they say, hey, what is this? I mean, even they can see if something's problematic. But when you are an OG lover who dislikes the reboot from with a passion, no matter what happens in the show, you're going to think it's garbage because the OG cast is not in it. If you are an OG Charm lover who likes the reboot, you're in your feelings because you can't find validation with everything you like about the reboot, because honestly, with all the showrunners and the writing, it can be hard to defend. So like, it's such a hard conversation. So when people are like, do you like Charmed? It's like, what episode? I mean, that's basically what I say. Which episode? I am a fan of the Charmed concept. I am a fan of the Charmed, what I feel is the lore, the magical world, the world building of Charmed. I love it. But I take it episode by episode because that's just how it is. Some episodes are absolute garbage, and then some are not so bad. So that's literally what that is. The writers forgot Godric existed in season 3. Yeah, that is very true. The underworld is wherever the leader is. See, but like, where is the leader? It's so weird. Wait, question. What if Macy isn't dead to the showrunner says she can come back, even though we haven't heard from Madeline whether she wants to come back? She's not. She's like transcended. She's like a character from Oh My Goddess, basically. She's just spiritually angelic guardian type person now. So I guess she can come back whenever she wants, depending on what the storyline is. Hashtag charm power babe. Didn't Godric die though? I didn't think he died. I thought he just was about to die and then faded away somewhere. I don't know. Prune will be forever missed. Yes, she will. The new Buffy will be a continuation based on a Black Slayer instead, who will be a new character in the same universe. So we could see old characters return. Okay. Because Kendra was actually mixed, but I don't think they said she was mixed. I think that she is portraying a Black character, but her actress, I think, was Bianca Lawson, if I remember correctly, and she was mixed. So that's cool. I love the girls met the other Charm ones. The problem is that the actresses in the OG Charm do not want to meet the new actresses. So I think they even had some words. Sarah Jeffrey had some words with Holly on Twitter. Wait, you accepted Paige? I have not, still have not. For the purpose of the show, I stopped disliking her. I don't know if accept is a good word. I just tolerated, I guess, that Paige was there. I would never do Prue like that. I love her. I was talking about Piper, Phoebe, and sometimes Paige. I'm honestly seeing that Godric is gathering the demonic faction similar to the Seer in the OJ series until he removes Abby from her position of power and possibly makes a play attacking the sisters. But as long as they're not trying to bring back the source with a magical baby by impregnating, another version of Phoebe, I'm cool with that. Having Maggie be the mother of the new source. So what about the safe space now that Macy is gone? I mean, does that mean Maggie and Mel get it? Good question. These are all things I'm going to have to think about for the season 4 theory video. That would be awesome. I agree with Piper and Phoebe being selfish in the later seasons. I'm the OG Charm lover who loves the reboot. So you understand. You get it. Why didn't the Charm ones try to rebuild the elders with global magic leaders so short-sighted, make their lives easier? Because they don't have that kind of marketing department. Nobody told them they could. Closest allies like Jordan, Celeste, Ruby, Antonio, etc. And when the sisters are spread too thin and run themselves into the ground, he lays the smackdown on them. Very true. That was the original plan, but then they decided to have it to take place after Buffy cast that spell, so it would be a new Slayer, but the same continuity as the OG. That's interesting. What about that demon guy that was banned and locked somewhere in the mountains? He's still alive? Oh, the original demon overlord. I think so. I think they tricked him again, though. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still alive. But they said season 4 is going to have a new villain. As long as it's not this apocalypse every other week, I'm cool. I need my demons of the week back. I really do. Give safe space to Swan. As for Godric, I think that Abby probably killed him. I mean, fair. Everything seems to happen off, basically when the show's not airing. Season wasn't best hands down, but with Maggie's current powers. I did like their weapons that their mom gave them, though. And unleashes an ancient evil like the Source. Macy is basically going to be like how Patty was in OG Charmed, but not Graham's. Now, see, that would be interesting to me, but I don't think that's what's going to happen either. Because, I mean, she's absolutely still in the UK. So I don't really foresee her coming back anytime soon to do anything. Because she left for a reason. And I mean, if she gets another television show or whatever, she's not going to have time to do that. She could do it through Zoom, like the Guardian Zoom connection. Turns out Swan becomes a new super witch. That would be cool. Charm season 4 storyline, power of 2 and 2.5 instead of power of 3. Well, if the power of 2 will have to do. Yeah, the OG series, our sisters probably won't ever make an appearance. I meant the other Charm ones within the reboot universe. Oh, that would be cool if you got to see them all, like have an episode that shows like all the different sisters in the past. That would be really cool, actually. Someone please give safe space to Swan, because that company should have never been given to Macy, who couldn't care less. Yep, or given a damn about it. Hell, Swan nearly ended Macy for the company. I agree. And I mean, and Mel demonstrated she didn't care about the magic shop. So, I mean, I'm completely cool with that. When is a triad going to show up? Good question. Where are the triad? Did Macy have a will? Did she have time to add safe space to the will? Could Swan get more say in safe space? Also, OG fan and episode by episode for reboot. Yep, that's what we do. And we don't just look for Latina characters. That is still cracking me up. It just cracks me up. Tolerated, yes, I still hate Paige. See, I don't hate her. I just tolerate her. I just think that, I don't know. There's just something about her always rubbed me the wrong way. What about the Charm one's money problems? I mean, there are no problems in any of the CW universe. We've already established this. We established with season 2 and season 3 of Charm. We've shown that they don't need money to live. Superman and Lois, they don't need money to live. I mean, you can lose your job. I don't care what show you're on. You don't have to pay for rent or food if you are a main character. Now, the side characters, you're just screwed. But like if you're a main character, you don't got to worry about any of that. None of it. Like none of it. I think Paige benefited the most in the final seasons of Charm because Rose wasn't a producer. She was just an actor showing up to act. Alyssa and Holly interfered with writing decisions. True. But like just from looking at her now, she's very outspoken and she has Rose McGowan is interesting. She could be some of the things that she's activist for, I agree with. Some of the things she's very problematic. So it's just a thing. They should have included OG Charmed in the first place. They could have gotten more ratings. Well, I mean, they wanted to do a continuation, but of course, if your actresses fought behind scenes like the way the OG Charmed ones did, maybe nobody wanted to go through that again. So, I mean, they even fight on Twitter. So, I don't know. I mean, right now I see Rose and Holly kind of hanging out a little bit together, but none of them hang out with Alyssa. So, we don't know what the hell's going on with them. Even now, like years later, I don't see how that could work. I think Holly did an episode of ER or something like it. Was it ER or Grey's Anatomy where she played Phoebe's sister, and it was kind of like a little mini reunion for them. But Rose McGowan does not like Alyssa Milano at all. So I don't know how they would even be in the same room. Nevertheless, do a TV series together. So it's a thing. I didn't grow up with the original. I watched it for the first time as preparation a few months before the reboot came out, and I love both equally. I do that for a lot of reboots. I'm doing it for Doogie. Is Doogie Howser coming back? That's crazy. I'm watching the original blind before going into the new one. Makes sense. I'm an OG Charm lover, but I'm still going to nitpick about how many storylines were dropped in place of romantic center plot. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so we are still in agreement that Harry shall not hook up with any new female or male characters. Make Harry single. Hashtag let Harry be by himself. Season 4 Charmed. Because I'm hoping to see the Zenko and the Barbas equivalent on the show. Oh, Barbas would be cool. That would be cool, especially if they actually had managed to get the. I wonder how old he is now. Managed to get Barnabas as an original actor. The actor who plays Cole mentioned he would like to play in the reboot. He did say he would like to come back in some capacity. I mean, anytime soon, unless it's through Zoom. Can you have spiritual connections through Zoom? Maybe I can channel her. That reminds me of Post Rangers massive team ups with the Charm ones. Ugh. Like, I kind of like New Sister. I think the new Charm one is a lost daughter of Marisol's sister, maybe. So cousin. Because, I mean, if she didn't come out of Marisol, she is not a sister unless she is a sister to either Maggie or Mel. I mean, if she can't be a sister to both if she didn't come out of Marisol. Harry probably gets safe space. Oh. Jordan. No, but I think if Swan does not get safe space, that is a big problem and missed opportunity for that character. It's getting to the point where why do you even have Swan? What's Swan there for? It's pretty sad, actually. From a previous comment, kind of like how they brought together all the new Power Rangers. Don't get me started on Power Rangers. How about Miranda for a potential sister name aside from Maya, Monica, and Marinette? Miranda? I can see that. While I don't like the idea of Paige and Cole, that at least would have created more conflict for the sisters. Cole was basically a character assassinated so they could kill him off. I agree with that 100%. I watched every episode of the new Charm, but still have no idea what is what or who is who. I can recite every episode of the original except for season 8. I don't like season 8 either. I loved I didn't like Billy or Christy at all, but I really like her actress, or Billy's actress, as Penny in Big Bang Theory. So I always felt bad because I couldn't stand her in Charm. I was like, oh, every time that her and her sister on the screen, I was mad. But yeah, I get it. Regarding Rose McGowan, she's very problematic. Yep. Shannon and Rose do get along pretty well. Funny, ain't it? Well, not really. Shannon back in the day was a little hellion on 90210 set, I've heard. So, I mean, and actually Little House on the Prairie, they said she was a little hellion too. A lot of people don't realize she was on Little House on the Prairie, but she was when she was younger. So, yeah. I agree. Rose McGowan can be much sometimes, even though she makes good points sometimes. Yep. Sometimes she's on track, but sometimes she just gets cray-cray. The actor who played Barnabas passed away. Oh, did he? Oh, that's sad. Well, people keep dying. I hope Ruby hooks up with Josefina. I hope Josefina comes back. Once they get new showrunners, everybody else just seems to be retconned because look what happened. We never saw anybody from season 1 again. You cannot tell me that Nico did not want to know what happened to Mel. That she believed, knowing that they're magical, that she thought that she was like even a chance that she was alive. That's just stupid to me. Maybe they will turn Harry to the big bad. I could see that. The actor that played Barnabas passed away, unfortunately, but it would be interesting for the actor who played Cole to return as a new Barnabas. Yeah. I mean, it would also be cool if Cole, because I'm pretty sure that when he got vanquished, he's still stuck in their version of Demon Hell. Wouldn't it be cool if he came back as Cole, establishing that one of the sisterhoods was actually the Hallowells? And technically Hallowells and Matthew. That would be really cool. That would be a good segue to saying, hey, the Hallowells existed. But I don't know if they'd ever do that. The protagonist is an Asian girl, and the setting is Hawaii for the new Doogie, and she's called Doogie because the original show exists in that universe, and it's like a tongue-in-cheek reference. Gotcha. Well, I mean, Hawaii is beautiful. I've been there, so that's cool. Season 8 was a mess. I love Paige in season 4 and 5. Okay. Some think it's cultural appropriation, but I'm guessing she's Eurasian, but her mom married a Hawaiian man, and then it's her stepdad. Either way, it looks like a cool twist, and Asian representation is good. Why is it a cultural appropriation? I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm like, somebody please explain that to me, because I don't get that at all. Am I reading that wrong? Some think it's cultural appropriation, but I'm guessing she's Eurasian. So you're saying that she's half Asian and half white? Because that is interesting, considering, again, I've said it a million times, I love the Shang-Chi movie with a passion, but in the comics, his mama was white, and they completely erased that in his heritage. So can't have it both ways. Just thinking that's a little weird. You should watch Kaylee Coco, Billy's actress new show, her return to drama, The Flight Attendant. She has grown a lot as an actress since OG Charmed. I mean, I liked her, especially in the later seasons of Big Bang. I always thought that she was funny. She has great comedic timing too. And I love her as Harley Quinn. So yeah, I'll have to check that out. I love Prue and Paige. That's cool. That would cause continuity issues that would mean that their children and their family line would have inherited the Book of Shadows. What if it established that there are different timelines of Charmed? That would be cool. Okay, I got to go and pick up my hyperactive son. Be careful out there. Well, we're about to end this too because we're almost to 2 hours. I was just trying to make sure I got all the comments that were popping out, but yeah. So if you have any comments or theories, please post them below. And because I mean, I know a lot of people are going to have a lot of theories about this, who this woman is. Again, like I'm just putting it out here. If you say ignorant things on my channel, you will get called out because it's just what it is. I do not like people questioning my identity and my blackness and my ability to speak my mind on my own damn channel. So I'm just putting that out there. Angry grandma or not, you may be spotlighted in the video. Be in your feelings. You know, I don't care. And also, there is going to be a season 4. I'm going to do a full season 4 video. I just don't know if it's going to be a live stream because I'm going to try my best to do it with Eloy from the Turnout. And if he if we can't be on the same stream time-wise, we might have to do it as a video. But I really want to do a full season 4 theory video because I feel like there were a lot of ways this could go. Some good, some not so good, some absolutely freaking horrible. So I do know this though. This season, I really do believe will be the catalyst on whether or not we get a season 5. If they do not do this correctly, they're going to cancel this show. And with the Republic of Sarah, I actually didn't mind that show. And what was really, really interesting for me with that one is apparently, according to the news I just read before this stream, their series finale, which is supposed to be their season finale, had 0 ratings. So Charm may face that if they start writing problematic scripts. So very concerned, guys. I'm very, very concerned. But yeah, love you guys. You are awesome. Again, I will have my L Word Generation Q next episode review. It's going to be late though, because it's going to be 12:30 for you guys because I have, unfortunately, another job, another career. So Saturday is a busy day for me. And so is Friday. But we're going to talk about Generation Q. So make sure when I post that in the community tab, make sure to make sure you put the reminder on because sometimes it doesn't recommend it. So make sure to do that. If it is day for you guys, have a good day. If it is evening, have a good evening. Charmed has a new witch, guys. Just put those in the comment. Tell me who she is. Who do you think she is? Bye, guys.